so I'm recording right now. I just wanted to ask. Oh, it's okay. All right, so Natasha, you had TIFF technical difficulties. All right, so I was gonna ask those of you guys that are new if you mind introducing yourself a little bit. All you gotta do is request to speak, or you can go to the chat and just type something in if you're comfortable with that, and then just let me know what your um like what you know what you if you mind, what we call you around here, like your name, if you're fine with your name on your Discord, what you do already. Yeah, and like your current level of coding, kind of like Kritia did. All right, and then so Kritia is a beginner, code curious person. All right. Um, I was waiting for the other two to finish typing. Right. So Natasha. I hope I'm saying that right. Hopefully, I'm not mispronouncing it right. Currently, I am a special education teacher. I'm very much beginner to coding, just curious about coding, possible career change. All right, I'm right about the pronunciation. All right. Andretta, hello, my name is Andretta Jackson, and I am brand new also. Just graduated from boot camp, full stack web development. I want a career change. All right. So you graduated from a boot camp, full stack web development boot camp. What boot camp was that? Like how did that experience go for you? Like what boot camp was it? I was just curious what boot camp. Berkeley boot camp. All right. What tech stack? Like what did they teach you there? You said full stack web development. Yeah, they all are. So like all these boot camps are gonna be very fast paced and they're not gonna wait for you. They're just gonna keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And they expect you to put in the hours and keep up. And they kind of really don't care if you grasp the concepts as they move along. They just keep pushing along. Yeah, it is. Um, that's been the experience for or the feedback from people I've gotten that have attended different boot camps, but I've attended a boot camp as well. IT nerd still trying to message you. Are you here? I'm here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, she's messaging you in the chat here. All right. So the boot camps, yes, the boot camps are very fast paced. I usually have slides, but I'm not going to do that. This meeting is so we can work on the project together. But I usually have slides that go into how to break into tech, um, the different options, which is a boot camp, a university, the self-taught path, or you can be, or you can join or you can get somebody to mentor you. So like, I guess real briefly. Okay, so Andrea, let's get back on track with you really quick before I switch gears. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Mongo, React, jQuery, Bootstrap. I like Mongo a little more also. All right, they didn't teach you anything about like SQL, any flavors of SQL. They just MongoDB, like the NoSQL. Yes, they did. Oh, okay. I was curious because SQL is still more popular than MongoDB. MongoDB is pretty popular, but there's a lot of companies out there or a lot of people out there still using SQL. So they call it flavors. So like SQL flavors instead of like like a different version of SQL. That's all it is, but they call it flavors. So in SQL anyway, or in the SQL world. The one I learned was MySQL. So I learned MySQL. I know MySQL and PostgreSQL. But any other flavors of SQL, I'm sure they're not hard to learn because once you have the base SQL, it's easy. Yeah. All right. So she did more. Yeah, did MySQL too. All right. All right, Tiffany, you're okay. That's fine. Um, all right, so I was gonna let me get the link. I have the link posted up here, but I'm gonna in the chat, but I'm gonna drop it for you guys again that are new. I'm just gonna put it in the for today's current page, today's current chat, and today's current chat. So we have a YouTube channel we just started, so there's not much content in there, but I'm gonna be putting more content in there. But it's got the video where I talk about getting into tech, the options into getting into tech, and I talk about like the boot camp path, the university path, the self-taught path, and getting a mentor. And so like here at Dark Mode Devs, we have a mentorship program that you can look into if you would like to. And I also have I also work, that's a little less than part-time, but I also work for a coding boot camp. I don't know if you guys heard of New Camp Coding Boot Camp. So I can get you some really good discounts on that boot camp if you're ever interested in a boot camp. Other than that, like anything else, like a university. So I'm a university student too in my junior year. So like when I started learning, I took all the paths you can think of. I even went self-taught. That's how I originally started. It was like probably over 3 years ago now. It was a while back. Um, I first started when I wanted to learn to code. I started as a self-taught. I was interested in trying to see how much I could find out by myself. Um, because at the time Um, I wasn't sure like if I was gonna make any investment in time to learn the code. I wasn't sure where I wanted to put that investment, and I didn't have a lot of money to invest at the time either. But my time investment was more important. So I was thinking, okay, if I'm gonna learn somewhere or if I gotta go to college again, I want to know if it's worth the time, because I was hearing a bunch of things, before all them years back, I was hearing a bunch of things about tech's booming, and it's easy to get in. You don't need a degree and all that stuff, and all that stuff is true. I go into all that in depth in the video, uh, but because you can get in with or without a degree. But the self-taught path was really hard because the analogy I always give is that I felt like I was crash landed in the middle of the ocean, and there's no lighthouses anywhere. I'm just out in the dark or out, and even if it's day, if you're out, if all you see is sea around you, and you have no sense of direction, you don't know which way to swim, which way to go for help, and that's how I felt. And I started trying to reach out more to people. So my first thing I started doing, because they were promising a fast track into tech, were coding boot camps. And a lot of them were advertising that we'll have you working in 3 months or 6 months or within 1 year, we'll have you working. And nobody can guarantee that anybody's going to get into tech that fast. It just depends on you, your will, your drive, and how much you're learning, how much you're retaining, like what your skill set is. Um, no, so nobody can really control that. So like it's not a good. I would see it as a red flag if anybody says they guarantee anything, because it largely depends on you, the way your mind works, how much you're absorbing, and then how good they're teaching you. And like because everybody learns at different paces. So like if someone got into tech in 3 months at some boot camp, that doesn't mean everybody's gonna. Everybody learns differently. And then there's different methods of learning. Maybe you're a visual learner, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're a different type of learner. But like we do a lot of hands-on in Dark Mode Devs mentorship. We do a lot of hands-on, and I've even the curriculum there has even evolved since I've started it. Um, so like we have some students in there, and then we meet every Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Arizona time right now. But I have just different options. Like there's one-on-one mentorship, and then this group or class mentorship, and even the way we're teaching has evolved. So like the program's getting better, and just like any other program, they have to evolve and then have to teach you new things. But the coding boot camps, like, see the difference at the mentorship program is that the mentorship program, I have the time or I have the ability to be able to slow down if we need to and make sure that you're retaining the information you need to retain before we move on, or I can work with you like a little bit more targeted and try to see, because I like to see where your weaknesses and strengths are and poke at your weaknesses and try to get you to really hone in on your weaknesses and get better at whatever wherever your weaknesses are. Um, oh yeah, Andretta asked the question, how much is the mentorship? So right now we're doing 50% off. You'll have to I can give you the link to the website, but the group for the group session, right now we're doing 50% off at so $50 a week, and you can pay by week if you want until you get the feel for it. And then if you feel more comfortable with me and our teaching style with everybody else in the class, and you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna keep going with this, then you can pay more to, like, if you want to, or you can just keep going at $50 a week. It doesn't matter. The one-on-one mentorship, I believe, I'd have to double check. I'm not 100%, but it's just somewhere between 100 and 150 a week. And that one, it's because it's one-on-one, and it's just gonna be me and you, and it's gonna be anytime. Like, we're gonna find some consistency, of course, but I'm able to, like, be available for you any time of the day there's no conflict with the other class going on. But it just depends on how you like learning. If you want like more one-on-one or more class, but don't think that one just because one's cheaper, it's a lesser value, because you're still getting a lot of value, and it's still gonna feel, because the classes are small, it's still gonna feel like really close to one-on-one because I'm able to target you anyway. So it's just whatever you can afford or whatever your learning style, if you want to learn with others or if you want to just one-on-one it. All right, so besides that, uh, like the mentorship, I'm able to keep up with you, like, or push you. Like, I'm gonna push you, but at the same time, I'm not gonna just um, tell you that if you're not grasping concepts, I'm just gonna keep moving and too bad you're gonna fail. That's not how I do it. If I feel like you're gonna fail somewhere, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you privately. Or if you're comfortable with me talking in front of the group, I'll tell you in front of the group, but more so privately if you want to hear it privately. But I'll tell you, like, if I see any red flags, or if I see that I feel like you're gonna fail because maybe you're not putting in the time, or you're not doing the homework, or you're not um doing as I instruct. So in other words, you're just gonna uh, prolong the process because you have to take the advice of me, and then the other mentor, and there's going to be Irina, which you guys seen her online for a little bit. She'll pop in here and there whenever I need her to. But so for the most part, it's going to be me. Um, but like, we're able to, like, really really hone in on you and then get you get you going. And then so we start with the JavaScript programming language. We're building a project too, and we're starting with vanilla, so like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But instead of just dry vanilla, we start with Bootstrap 5. Then we use web bundlers and all that other stuff. Um, but the programming language is like the heart of everything. Like, if you don't have language fluency, it's going to be really hard to do anything, because um, the problem that I seen with boot camps is that they teach barely enough JavaScript to just, and then they throw a framework at you, and then the framework's a lot more difficult. So I think the better skill is to get fluency in the programming language first of JavaScript, and then once you introduce a framework, the framework is a lot easier at that point because it's all just JavaScript. By then you're like so good at JavaScript that the framework you're gonna look at maybe a couple little syntax differences, and the rest of it's just JavaScript. It's gonna feel friendly. Or but besides that, like, I guess, like, uh, yeah, Andrea was saying earlier, the boot camps, no matter which one you join, they ain't waiting. Like, you gotta commit. They're gonna be a lot more expensive, like thousands of dollars. they ain't waiting for you either. Like they're gonna expect you to show up on time. Well, so am I, but you know what I mean? They're gonna expect you to be there, and they're gonna throw all these concepts at you, and they just expecting you to soak it up like a sponge, and they're just gonna keep moving. They're not gonna be able to, like, they have so many people, and just the way it's structured, they're not structured to see a student where they might be struggling, and then to hone in on that and isolate that and help fix that. So like that's the difference between mentorship and boot camp. It's basically you're learning everything in a boot camp, except it's one-on-one mentorship with me all the time. And I'm able to hone in on you, and we're not going to progress to the next concept until I feel that you're ready for it. And I think that's the better part. And I won't hold you back, so don't take that the wrong way, because I don't hold nobody back. I push you forward, but I've been noticing that some of the current students I have right now, I have to isolate concepts. So at first I was feeding them a lot, and then I would go over those concepts over and over again with them if I had to, and then we would implement those concepts doing problem solving. And I found that just I even if I introduce maybe, you know, three, four, or five concepts to you, then I ask anybody, you know, I ask questions, and then I see if I need to isolate something, I go more into detail with it. Like I'll break it down and go even further into detail with it. And so it's been good. It's a better learning experience, I feel, because I feel like the students that I have, they learn faster, and they're learning better because I'm able to do that with them. So, besides that, yeah, self-taught is the option, but I think okay, the cohort is 200 a month, can be split up to weekly payments. I'm not sure how much the individual option is. Yeah, it's on the net. So I gave them the link to the Dark Mode Devs YouTube. You guys can check out the video there. Um, and then if you want the link to the website, let me see if I can just put the link to the website in there, and then we'll move on. All right. And this is the link to the website. So if you go to the website, you have to go to the mentorship link. So you click on get started. If you like it in light mode, you can click it on, turn on light mode, but get started. And then you'll see, once you hit the button get started, you'll see the mentorship tab. You can click on that, and there's a video there, and then there's some more information there, and it has a breakdown of group classes and one-on-one mentorship. And if you're using a phone, you can take a picture of the QR code here. But if you don't want to use the QR code, then you can just click the button, and you can pay via PayPal. Either way, it's going to pay via PayPal. I'm actually updating the website right now. So the website's still in construction. But I hope you guys like it. All right. So besides that, we have Angel DOS. All right. That Angel DOS looks new. I know 360 Vision's not, and IT Nerd's not. I thought maybe Kritia might be, but now I know Kritia is not is new. Angel DOS is new. So Angel, if you want to introduce yourself, you can. You can click the chat button, and then you can, if you want to chat, or you can use the hand button up in the upper right corner, that little hand symbol. It'll let you speak on stage if you're comfortable with it, and you can go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then what brought you here, and like what your current level of experience is. If you want to. All right, so give me 1 second. I have something I have to. Um, do that later. All right. 360 vision. Um, What's up? You weren't able to make it last week, were you? I don't believe you did. Maybe you did. Give me a second. Let me let. All right, so we left off uh, at the project. We have this project that we're all building like as a group. Um, we kind of already got the project like fleshed out a little bit. I believe we're at the spot. I'll have to check right now, but I believe we're at the spot where um, I believe we're at the spot where I'm sorry, I had another message from somebody. All right, so I believe we're at the spot where we have to assign tasks. So like I think that's like where we're at. So like we gotta start looking at the flow of the program, knowing what's going on, and we gotta create tasks actually. So we should create tasks, but it doesn't have to be super technical. We can just create some tasks, and we wanted people in the project instead of me just handing out tasks to people. We wanted people to pick their own tasks. And if there's more than one person that picks that task, then maybe you guys can work together, um, and communicate on the DM here on Discord. You can even communicate with me anytime you want. You can DM me. Um, but that's where we're at. So let me share my screen, and then I can go ahead and show you guys that are new, like what we were doing previously, just as a quick recap. Yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, I'm gonna share the same screen too, and then um, we're gonna go to Miro. So we're using our Miro board. If you guys want to click on that to share where I'm sharing my screen, you guys can click on that and it'll enlarge so you can see it. Um, but let me go back. Oops, sorry, that was my fault. All right, so going back. All right, so whoops, that's the wrong one. All right, here we go. All right, to Miro. Uh, let's go to Miro. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I gotta sign in. All right. So, all right, there we go. So we call it the AI Health Project. Um, whoa. All right. So basically, it's like you just got like a bunch of stuff we've been doing already. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's got an overview section. I think we just got to fix a couple of things there, not much, but Q&A, if anybody's got questions, you can ask a question here. So like if you have a question, you just double click there, type in whatever you want, and somebody in the community, if not myself, will answer it. We'll give you an answer if you have any QAs about anything. Uh, Ryan was supposed to show up. We'll see. Hopefully he shows up. He hasn't told me whether he was not going to show up yet. And then so this hasn't been quite fleshed out yet. We're still building this section for the meetings, but I don't know if we're gonna actually need it. I was gonna use well, the plan is to use our current meetings every Sunday to get everybody like up to speed and maybe to get to get like a kind of like a stand-up meeting where we all get together and those of us that are working on the project and we kind of discuss what's going on in the project and get everybody up to date on the project and maybe help anybody that needs help with anything during the project. Maybe they have questions or they're stuck, and then just keep pushing forward and keep building after that. Because we're trying to use these meetings kind of like sprints, like so like you're gonna hear about the agile processes, like it's a methodology of working, and then you have like it's also usually we use the Scrum method, but we're not quite sticking to that here. We're kind of just do something similar where we're doing agile work environment similar to that. but we're gonna have use these meetings kind of like sprints to get up to speed, maybe recap a little bit, catch up with everybody, see where everybody needs help, things like that. So this was the project planning. This is all dummy data, so don't worry about that. Nobody started this stuff yet because we haven't gotten to the point where we're. But this part right here is where we started. I believe the previous weeks. So we continued on it last week, and then we went into it. We finished it the week before, I believe. Well, not finished. It's never finished, but basically we're doing some brainwriting. It's similar to brainstorming. If you click on my picture up here, it's gonna give you like it's gonna tell you kind of give you a definition of what brainwriting is, and we can work. We can use that to the T, or we can just something similar to that. But uh, it's kind of like brainstorming, but not quite. You'll see if you read it. It's basically we can comment on each other's ideas if we want, but this is my section right here. I kind of locked it off. Um, when they first started it, we all just took different parts. Yosef added whatever he thought he wanted to add. Rigel was the one that was Ryan. He's the other one over here in the section up here somewhere. So Ryan is one of the mentors on this project. So he's not a mentor for Dark Mode Dev's mentorship program, but he is a mentor for the project we're working on. What we're doing is, I guess, unofficial mentor because I met him on this group, but he has enough experience to be able to help anybody or to oversee what's going on here and be able to let anybody know, you know, if they're taking maybe the wrong approach, or if there's a better approach, or maybe they should rethink things, or maybe help them, point them in the right direction. Tiffany started a section, but you're free to start a section here if you feel like you want to get to know the project. But first, I would read about the project. So we had these sections here about the project. We have product, but basically it's an AI platform that helps people, like, it says stay conscious of the foods and drinks that they're consuming, but also like it's more informational, like in that sense it is to stay conscious, like, hey, I want to know what I'm consuming, but at the same time it's informational because um, they're getting information from the AI about the ingredients they're consuming in foods. So they'll be uploading ingredients, like, they can either text it, like type it in, or they can just use an image, and then the AI will scan that image, and then, you know produce, after it processes all that information, produce them the information they're looking for. So that's going to be a lot of testing when we get to that point in the project, because we're going to likely have to train the AI to stay within context, and then we're going to have to likely make sure that when it's getting, because from text it's going to be easier for it to be accurate because we're actually typing it in, but like we got to be able to make sure that when it's scanning images that it's doing it correctly too, that it's able to pick up the text off the image and then process that. But that's basically it in a nutshell. It's got other features. We talked about branding a little bit. um, for the future, we got a little bit into marketing, legal compliance, because the legal compliance it's good to keep it in mind the whole way, because um, there's going to be barriers that we can't cross because we're not legal professionals, but at the same, like, in that sense of recommending what people should or should not eat. But that's not what we're doing. We're giving people information, and then we got to have some kind of disclaimers, because we got to let them know that, hey, you can't hold us liable for the information you get from the AI, because this is like informational. Because the thing is, because AI is not 100% accurate, and AI is not a lawyer either, or the AI is not a professional, where, like, a health professional, and we're not health professionals, so we can only do so much. We're trying to take this project to an MVP level, which means a minimal viable product, which means that we're taking it to a level where to its minimal functionality, just to test it and then to see if we get enough attention with it to take it further. So like, say for example, we all take this project um, to this MVP stage, and then we're testing it, throwing it out there in the world, and people like it. If we can somehow get like investors, or even if it starts, we get people subscribing, then we can start investing into making it, I guess, more of a higher quality app, make it better, see where we can make it better, maybe even see if we can get to a point where we can either find a health professional to help us to get their feedback, so that way our feedback is somewhat backed up by health professionals, or it just there's like a bunch of possibilities, but this is the app flow. So we went into this flow chart because we wanted people to understand that are building the project how to navigate, how we want it to navigate. So like when the user logs in, the steps throughout the process for the MVP. They're gonna be presented with the tools and instructions. They select the image, then they go to the next one. If they select text, they come here. And if they input the text, then the app's gonna start processing. But if they upload the image, then this is where they could get stuck, because if they cannot read the image, it's just gonna loop them back around to re-upload the image. Um, but hopefully it doesn't get stuck. That's just normal, if, depending on the technology we're using to scan those images, or the quality of the picture they're taking too. So if they're taking a low quality picture, it's probably going to be harder. Uh, so the apps or the AI is going to process the input and then present them with the results. And then we want to have maybe different sections of those results. So this is what we are thinking when we originally did it, which is pretty cool. I think these are all valid results to try to show people, and we can have the AI like within those contexts, so it's not too bad. And these were the wireframes. So we talked about high fidelity and low fidelity wireframes. These are low fidelity wireframes, which means you can literally draw them out with pen and paper if you want, or pencil and paper if you need an eraser. They're just basic. Like, they're not high fidelity. It would look like the actual app. It would be in color. It would have the color scheme, the brand, logo, all that stuff. Um, but these are all low fidelity examples, just to because when we were wireframing it, we wanted people to understand that this is basically a guide, kind of like, it's not what the actual app's gonna look like. It's gonna look a lot different. But this is like a guide of like the general layout of what it's gonna look like. But it is gonna look different. We just put just like the basic functionality on there, just to just as a guide. So like, just these low fidelity wireframes are guides. It doesn't mean that the app has to look exactly like this. This ain't that type of wireframe. It's not a high fidelity wireframe. All right, so that's that, I think. Yeah. So the next part was we have project planning here, but I believe we wanted to use this. Um, so, and then it depends if we're gonna have like a design team versus a development team. It depended on how you guys felt about that, because I didn't know if anybody would. I'm pretty sure everybody here wants to code something. Um, what about you guys? Do any of you guys feel like maybe you'd want just design, or maybe you want like, or I believe everybody was here to like try to code something, right? Like, you want to learn, you want to actually code something. You don't want to just like learn some design tool and that's it. I didn't let you before. That's interesting. I thought I just invited you right now. Let me see. I believe that was Andretto. You asked to speak. You should be able to. Let me see. Yeah, it says you're able to. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I wasn't gonna ask to speak. I was just gonna chat. Um, to put in the chat. I guess. I mean, I could probably help try to figure out a design, but I think I'm more into coding. But whatever you guys want to do, I'll just work with you guys.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So, there's a lot of people that are coming in, they want to code, they don't want to just design. But I say having both skills is good because I'll give you like a example. Um, yeah, all right, Natasha. Yeah, that's good that you open to both. Because um, there's some developers that, for example, like we'll call it front end develop for the front end development side, or even on maybe on the full stack side too. But I know for sure on the front end side, there's companies out there they'll have you just coding and you're taking a high fidelity wireframe or a wireframe like so you're taking some kind of instruction and you're implementing that design. Um, you really don't have much freedom to design it exactly how you want. You got to stick to the script when you're coding, and that's not a bad thing, but that's how most people do it. But I have I like even though if you go to some other company you got to stick within those rules, but me I like personally I like to be involved in the design and I like to be able to change things when I'm coding, like to be able to say okay this looks okay to me, this doesn't, and change it. So
Yeah.
that's just me. Yeah, some people don't have an eye for design. So like I've met people they have zero design skills and they don't want to learn. They just know how to code. And so like those type of people, I would say if you're that type of person, then you would be the one to take the instruction from the designers and then implement their design. But like if you have an eye for design, if you're like artistic like that, then you're gonna be hungry for both. Um,
Yeah. Probably. That's true. This is my first, so I might find I like them both equally,
oh
and
yeah,
maybe like design more. So maybe so. I don't know.
yeah, but yeah, you never know. But yeah, me now, I love coding too much. So like if I was just designing and that's it, I'd get bored. I just like the logic of coding and then just the whole process of it. It's just I like them in combination, but that's just on the front end. On the back end, it's going to be different because you're more involved in more technical stuff. It's a lot more the coding on the back end is a lot more technical, more difficult, and it's going to be more about more heavily about architecture than the front end. Like the planning process is going to look different. Uh, like architecture is probably the biggest thing on the back end is implementing the right architecture and having the right plan before you just start coding something. And then the on the front end, depending on your style, if you're working alone or you're working with other people, yeah, you gotta figure that out. So I remember as a full stack developer, yeah, it's gonna be you're in both worlds. So you're basically a front end and a back end developer at the same time. So like going back to that mural board, I initially pitched that as an idea that hey, we can all like maybe we can have a design team, maybe eventually have a marketing and a marketing team because we're eventually when we get this to that MVP level, we're gonna need people to like create social profiles for the project or at least I'll create the social profiles, but I need people to have access to those profiles and then to put the content out there to market the project. But the and then there's gonna be design, which people they just design. They use tools like Photoshop or Figma or other tools. Developer side, you know already. You're just gonna be coding. Um, but I kind of can blend into all three. Very, very, yeah. I could kind of blend into all three because I learned. some decent marketing and design skills from Irina. So like Irina is probably gonna be, if we do break up into those teams, she's gonna be the mentor for those teams because she's better at it than everybody I know right now in the group. Or not just you guys online, but like everybody like that's joined our group so far. Um, she's the well, 'cause she did that when before she learned the code. She has a degree in graphic design and marketing. All right, so project planning. We did have this section, but I kind of just we could leave it for now. But I feel like if we're gonna assign tasks, we need maybe something different. I don't know. Um, I forgot who wanted this for the meetings. It might have been Ryan. Yeah. So like, does anybody have any questions about the project so far? What I said about the project? No. All right. All right. So I guess going back to Miro board. Um, hold on. Let me see. All right, just making sure nobody had anything in chat. Um, let me see if there is like something here. Oh yeah, before we do that, because I didn't want to keep pushing. Oh yeah, let me show you guys the GitHub too, because I wanted you guys to see the GitHub. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I wanted you guys to see the GitHub because okay, yeah, let me ask that first. Those of you guys that are new, have you guys do you guys have GitHub accounts? Like I know um well, Andrea, I know you do because you said you were at a boot camp. All right, so Kritia says no. Natasha, maybe, maybe not. Do you have a GitHub account? If you don't, it's okay because I know you're just learning, and then I'll tell you guys what that is in a nutshell. All right, and Angel Das, I haven't heard nothing from you, but if you want to let us know anything about you, what your current level of experience is, and then whether you know what GitHub is or not. So I'll go ahead and kind of go to GitHub, and then I'll tell you guys a little bit about GitHub. Um, oh yeah, so I'm logged into my GitHub right now. We have the AI health project. Where the heck did I put it at? Oh, here we go. So we have the AI health project. This is the main page, but you got to navigate to the development branch. So they call branches. So like the main branch is locked. The main branch is protected, which means that uh, when you hook up to GitHub, because this GitHub, I guess let me start there first. GitHub, for those of you guys that don't know, is like a development platform where it's like a collaborating platform where we all connect to a project through GitHub from our computers, and we're able to code together and push code to the same project to make changes on that project. Like basically, we build a project. It's a platform where that hosts our code for us, so that way it's kind of like on a cloud, so that way it's protected. So that way, it's not like vulnerable on one person's computer, and then if it ever gets deleted or the computer, blows up for some reason, then everybody's screwed. So like GitHub is a place to host your code, or your projects, but it's also like a place to collaborate on projects. So we're not just hosting our projects here, we're collaborating here on this platform, and then it's also a place to, like, if I show you like for those of you guys that want to like for example, if you don't have a how do you say that if you don't have a portfolio project yet in code, you can basically use GitHub as a temporary one. I just kept mine like so. Like when I was first learning, I created a portfolio project, I used GitHub as my backup, like kind of as my dummy portfolio project, and I used to put it in links everywhere, just to show people like about me. Um, maybe I gotta update some of this information. Maybe I don't. I'll have to look. But yeah. Um, so I've been working at that boot camp since last May. Geez, it doesn't even feel like it's been that long already, almost a year. All right. Oh yeah, I did a software engineering apprenticeship. What's another one? Oh yeah, I graduated from the camp, coding boot camp, and then I also am studying computer science and artificial intelligence, and I hold a 4.0 GPA. So I've held a 4.0 GPA every semester since starting. Um, so like my GPA is 4.0. So because just because like I made the time or in the investment in the university, and I've done my best to maintain that. Just because I want my official transcript to be so like that's what I was gonna tell people if you're gonna go learning anywhere, like give it your best because that especially at university because you can have a degree, but if your official transcript shows that you're failing and withdrawing from classes and your grades are low, they're not gonna care. Like if you want a degree, if you want people to take that paper seriously, you want at least a B average. You wanna have that 3.0 or 4.0 GPA. Those are the people that like that when they graduate, that piece of paper is taken more serious because if you have a bunch of withdrawals and you've taken a lot of time off and it's taking you 6 years for a bachelor's degree because you've taken too much time off, uh, and then you were failing classes because you weren't taking it serious, um, that's not a good thing. All right. Uh, so I have a little bit about me here. I have my LinkedIn profile. So if any of you guys have LinkedIn, wow, I'm not even logged in at LinkedIn. Well, I gotta sign into my LinkedIn. But for now, if I forgot because yeah, all right. So, well, for now, if you guys, I'm on here. I'll have to log in. I don't want to log in online because I don't know if it's gonna show my passwords or not. So I'll log in here eventually. But you guys can find me here in on LinkedIn if you like, or you can reach out to me on Gmail. And this is like basically my tech stack, or it was. It's probably changed by now. So like maybe I gotta like update it. But a lot of this stuff I've learned at the university or coding boot camp, so I was able to put this here. I have my stats, my GitHub stats, most of these languages it says here. Yeah, well, it should be JavaScript, but I guess because there's a lot of HTML everywhere. And then it has dev jokes. And it's kind of like this is like the section that shows your activity, like how active you are on GitHub. And you're gonna see online some people, this whole area is green. It's like different shades of green, and it's because they're constantly active on it, like all the time. Me, I'm not pushing code to GitHub every day. That's why it's not all green. But I am coding every day. I'm learning every day. I'm coding every day. I'm problem solving every day. I'm building, trying to work on something I'm building every day. There's things I'm doing every day, and that's how you have to be. If you want to get into coding, you got to put in some time every day to do it. Okay, so that's enough about me, but let's get back to this GitHub. But basically, you can use it. You can use it as a you can use it as a like stand in place or temporary um, portfolio project, like I said before. Well, because I used it for a while. I used it for a while until I was happy with my portfolio project. And then now my portfolio project, I don't know, maybe I can show you guys that too. So now I have a portfolio project and you can find it here. Um, it has a home and then it's got a about page and it's got like stats, how many hours I've been like I should put hours mentoring because it's actually more than that. I have to update all this. So like I gotta update some of this stuff. So should be hours mentoring. I got educational awards from the president and the dean for being a 4.0 GPA, being on the president's list, dean's list. Um, and then I probably have that might be accurate. I don't know because I think these are the ones I just wanted people to see. And then it has my skills, so that loads up. When like this, it's like a progress bar basically that I'm using to display my skills. Then I have a resume section, and you can download my resume here. So, but this ain't all the resume. This is just like at a glance. But if you wanted to download it, it's gonna have more detail on there. Uh, Services. This is when I was freelancing. But now that I'm involved with dark mode devs, I don't have time to just freelance on the side. I just have time for my school and for my company. Portfolio. This was some of the projects I wanted to show people. It's got, the web projects, the more like the Apple web app and a mobile app, and it's got the AI app. These are the ones I want people to see. Like this one was Ladybot. You'll see it on the website, Ladybot. This was the first one I built this was Ladybot before Dark Mode Devs existed, and this was Ladybot. I think last winter when I was trying to see if I want to build Ladybot as a Python AI. And then I said, you know what, I'm working on 3.0, so Ladybot 3.0 is gonna be in JavaScript, and that's the Ladybot that I'm gonna put on the Dark Mode Devs website that people can interact with. So like uh, I wanted her on the website so when people log in, that's the current version I'm building. You can interact with her and chat with her, and she'll talk to you about the programs, about the website, things like that. So that's a work in progress, but I'm getting there. And this is my contact where you can schedule a meeting with me, or you can send me an email, or you can call me if you want. You can email me, whatever. I don't care. But this is my business number for Dark Mode Devs, so um, use that sparingly, please. Like if you really want to need to talk, I don't mind. But like more often than not, if you want, you could just throw me a text and then let me know. Maybe we can schedule. More often than not, I like scheduling times for meetings because if we schedule a time for a meeting, we both show up and then we're both on screen, we're both ready to go. But if you're here locally in Tucson, that'll be cool if you call us and maybe we can go out and meet you guys somewhere locally and then we can all meet in person, have a chat in person somewhere, maybe at Starbucks or something, wherever you guys want to go. All right, so that's my uh, portfolio. And then, so talking back about GitHub, uh, you're gonna want this also to host your projects for prospective employers when you want to get hired. This is for the main branch right here. You can put as many branches as you want. We just have two because we're keeping it simple. We have a main branch which you have by default, and it's set as the default branch. But that's why when the page loads up, it's going to go straight to this one first. But you have to navigate to the development branch, and then you'll see like more information about the project because we're actually developing on the development branch. And I gotta merge um, or at least push this markdown code right here for the README and the license into into the main branch. So that way, when that one loads up, it doesn't look so lame. Because when the main branch loads up, it looks lame. I mean, look, boo. But then you go to the dev branch and you can see like we're already like getting busy there. Uh, and then Ryan did most of the work right here on this dev branch or on the dev, I mean on the README, and he did a good job. So let's go to uh, settings, and then you'll see when I go to settings, I go to collaborators. Oh my goodness. All right, it shouldn't show my password. Let me see. All right, let me see. That should work. All right, so we're in. You'll see that there's already a good dozen I don't know, what, six? Yeah, dozen of us already including, not including myself. So that are already collaborators on here. If you guys want to collaborate on the project, those of you that already have a GitHub, you can give me your GitHub username and I can find it. I can add you to the project. Let me see back on Discord. All right, so I think the only one that I think, okay, IT Nerd and 360 Vision are already on the project. Angel Das, I haven't heard from you yet, so I don't know if you want to get on it. Uh, Kritia and Natasha, I know you both do, but you guys don't have GitHub profiles yet. So what I would suggest is creating one. Let me get you the link It's just basically that's the link right there, github.com. Um, so let me send that for you in the chat. And then like all you have to do is go there, create an account, and we can get you linked up to the project. So that way when you're ready to contribute, you're able to contribute to the project. But then I have a video also, so don't be like, man, how do I like navigate GitHub? Like how do I um, connect to the project and start working on it? Because I created a video on that. So on the Dark Mode Devs YouTube channel, where I posted it a little bit higher today in today's chat. I'm sorry, excuse me. I posted it there. You'll see there's another video in there. Okay, all right. Well, Katia, you can get back to me on the DM whenever if you need help setting anything up, and then I'll help you. All right. Basically, you guys can go watch the video there, and it's gonna tell you how to yeah, yep, and it's gonna tell you how to set up how to link your Visual Studio Code to GitHub. So part of coding too is Visual Studio Code. So that's what we're using as our uh, dedicated or dedicated development environment. But it's actually an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. But I'm dedicated to it. I'm like that's the only thing I use is Visual Studio Code. I have used other web development IDEs like WebStorm, what was the other one? It doesn't exist anymore. It was called what do you call that? It was called what's the other one? Atom. Atom, that's what it was called, Atom. So Atom was one that was popular for a little bit, and it's done. They're not even maintaining it anymore, so don't use it. And then there's WebStorm, that's by JetBrains. That one's decent, but nothing is like VS Code. So if you Google like uh, code editors or IDEs out there online, or even just code editors. We can probably Google that right now for those of you that are new. There's gonna probably be uh, there's gonna be a good list of them out there, and you're gonna be like, well, which one do I use? Microsoft's Visual Studio Code is the best one, hands down. Like it is the best one. I haven't used one or seen one online better than it. It has too much. Like it has too much built in it already for it to suck. Like this thing is good, but you basically can open a project. Like I don't think I'm connected to my yeah. I have to connect to my SSD. I have an external SSD with the project on it. I could do that right now if you guys want to see it. Or you know what? Let me do it right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Cause this sucks looking at a code editor with no code in it. Give me a second. But I'll open up the AI help project just so that way I can help show you Visual Studio Code a little bit. But because for those of you guys that are new, just a little crash course, just so that way, because you're gonna have to. I think I actually have a video on there where I walk through setting up Visual Studio Code, or at least get knowing where to navigate. I could put that link in the chat for you guys too. Let me log into my SSD. Let me see. All right, so where do we go? I think it's in this one. Let me see. AI Health Project somewhere around here. Was it this one? Yeah, AI Health Project. All right, it's in that one. All right. So let me open that really quick. Let me go to my external drive. And then go to the AI Health Project. I believe it was that one right there. Yeah. All right. Yes, I'm the author. All right. So looking at a code editor, like if we just go to if we go to our source file, that's where our JavaScript SCSS, because we're not using regular CSS, we're using SCSS, and then our index HTML, and you can see like just a little bit of code we have in there right now, because this is just starter files that I created for the project. So like, there's not really much in here. It's just a starter file. Just so you guys can see that like you can do like this is where you're gonna be coding. Those of you that are new, the package JSON is like where your dependencies and your development dependencies live. So like the dependencies are dependencies that your project completely relies on. So like it's a bootstrap project. So and we're using some of Bootstrap's JavaScript. So the project's going to rely on these. The development dependencies are just dependencies we use during development process, which means that we're using a transformer for the Sass, so it converts the Sass into CSS, and then we're using Parcel as our web bundler. So we are running Parcel, and then you got to learn how to use your terminal. So like I have the terminal open right here, so that way basics on the terminal. I'm actually making a video on that, and I'm gonna be posting that video on the YouTube channel, how to do like basic terminal commands, so that way you can um, learn the basics at least of using the terminal, because you're gonna have to start learning how to code. So when we do like if I start the oops, if I start the wow, hold on, I accidentally pushed the wrong key. I gotta get used to this keyboard. All right. So if I start the development server, um, it's gonna, all right, remind me later. It's far. Yeah, all right. It's because this computer I literally got yesterday. So I know you guys are seeing all this crazy stuff, but I literally got this computer in the shipped to me yesterday. So it's a new computer, and I spent all dang day setting it up. Um, and so like that's why you're gonna see a lot of these things. Just I had to log into some of my accounts I never had a log. I mean, it's just crazy. All right, so if we load the project, you'll see that if I put the project side by side with the code editor, come on, there we go. Um, yeah, we did the code editor. No, we don't want that one. I wanted it past that screen. Yeah, let's go all the way down. All right, so you'll see that um, when you're coding, you can make changes, and like if I change the button to, whoa, what happened? All right, there we go. If I change the button to a red instead of a blue, you'll see like you get to see your changes live, like when you're coding. So like when you're doing web development, that's how you want to do it. You want to be able um, to make your changes and then to have them live, so that way you can, it makes it better to code, because if you didn't have it live like this, that's why we're using this bundler called Parcel. um you'd like be coding in the blind. You know what I mean? You can also use one called I have it right here, it's called Live Server. But right now Live Server is not going to run our bootstrap because this project is dependent on Parcel. We made this project where it's configured for Parcel. It's not configured for everything else. So if I run Live Server, it's going to look different. It's not going to have these bootstrap styles on there. It's going to look really plain and ugly. But just wanted to show you that, just that way those of you that are new, what you were going to be getting into eventually. But let me just take that out. Oh yeah, and then the way you navigate something like here, I'll minimize this again. Um, the way you want to navigate this thing is, don't worry about the parcel cache, the disk folders, or the public folders. The one we're going to be working in, don't worry about node modules. The one we're going to be working in is the source folder with the JavaScript file, the SCSS file for the styling, and the index HTML. Those are the main ones you got to worry about. Um, you also have search, so you can search for things if you want. I usually just control F, and like if I want to find something in my code, it's a little bit more like you'll see right here. You could, if you type in, like if we type in style sheet, it'll show us like everywhere that word occurs in our code. Or like if I wanted to do like styles or whatever, it just helps you find things. Like when you have a code, it's more relevant when this code file is like a mile long, and you're trying to navigate that code file because it's like hundreds or thousands of lines long. Then you would do a control F and just type in what you're looking for, and it'll take you to those instances of where where that's at, where that word occurs, so that way you can find your code quicker. Like if you wanted to find the container class, you would just type in container, and everywhere you have container, you can click through those instances of it and navigate the code file a little quicker. All right, so besides that, we have our source control. This is like where we're going to be connecting to the GitHub, because this is a new computer. I got to reconnect, but I'm not going to connect right now because we're not making changes in this project. But you can do source control through the terminal. We don't have to do source control from here, but I recommend the GUI. But if you're brand new, you're going to want to learn the terminal commands first before you go to the GUI, because the terminal commands are actually more important to employers than the GUI. All right, so then we have our JavaScript debugger, or our run and debug. You can debug any type of code, but this is a more complex process. I'll probably have to make a video on that because it actually steps through JavaScript code line by line, and it'll help you debug it when you have issues with it. And then you have extensions. So I have all these fancy extensions for my code editor, and I also have GitHub Copilot. So which is cool. It's like an AI that helps you code faster. And then I have an extension for .env, env. I have live share, Microsoft live share, to like share, um, have some type of live collaboration going on there. And then this is a GitHub Copilot chat. So like I can use GitHub Copilot inside of my code here, and I could use GitHub Copilot chat like to prompt it to like help me fix something if I can't find it, or give me an idea on like maybe a basic template on maybe something I'm trying to create. It'll if you instruct it, it'll give you like a basic template. But the code is not like, you can't rely on AI to code because the code is not always accurate. So like I always tell people that AI is not at the place where it could take anybody's job, at least not yet. And I don't know if it ever will be, but um, um, maybe it will in like 50 years. I don't know. Maybe less, who knows? But it's not there at all. And it makes errors frequently. And if you're not already proficient in your programming language, you're not going to know how to see those errors. You're just going to be copying and pasting AI code. And when it's broken and it's not doing what you need it to do, you're going to be wondering, well, what the hell is going on? How do I fix it? And then on top of that, you're not going to know how to fix it because you never learned to code in the first place. So it's really important to actually learn how to code before you're using AI to do things for you. But that's another subject. So like in the mentorship, I teach pair programming with AI, how to use AI. But that's like I've been like injecting it slowly because I don't want the mentees to be um, relying on AI for everything they do, because that's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to rely on yourself, know how to get the job done, and maybe use it to help you run code like repetitive processes. It just helps you code faster. Or maybe you truly got stuck and you need to research something, so you could turn to Google and start researching, or you can use the AI and prompt the AI to help you research. And so that's where another place where it comes in good too. 360 vision, no, because we're at the point where we need to create tasks, or oh yeah, tasks. So that's where I was gonna get to next. But I wanted to like, on all these meetings moving forward, we're gonna have some type of onboarding because we have people coming in new. So like I kind of went over everything in a nutshell, gave them the links they need to kind of get going somewhat. Talked about the videos that they need to watch on the YouTube channel so that way they can get up to speed. And then if they need any help, they can reach out to me and or on the DM, and I'll go ahead and help them, with whatever you guys need help with. Um, but when it's on my time, on our time outside these events, as soon as I can means like as soon as I have a slot of time where I can get to you, because I have a lot of other things going on. But I'll do my best not to leave you waiting all week until next Sunday's event. We'll try to get it handled as quick as I can. Um, all right, so back to what we were talking about. Let me close this. Let me close my code editor. That was just for you guys that are new, that haven't seen a code editor before. Um, so that way you can know that that's basically the code editor I recommend. That's the code editor in the video that I believe I left a link there for you guys. So if we go to VS Code, whoa, let's go to VS Code. All right. And I'll send you guys the link here. Yeah, you just if you have Windows, download for Windows. If you have Mac, you could download for Mac or Linux if you have Linux. But more than likely, you guys got Windows that are brand new. Maybe one of you guys has a Mac, but Linux is very rare for somebody brand new to coding. Linux is like, if you're a Linux user, it's usually because you've been coding for a while already. All right, so let's go. Most people, there's some programmers, they just love Linux. But most people that are not, that haven't been coding already, they don't use Linux. They don't even know about Linux. All right, so let's go Visual Studio Code. All right, so there it is in the chat. So if any of you guys need to download that, we have somebody else that looks like it was new. Is that somebody new? All right, that does look like somebody new. The name is truncated, so I can't see it. It's like the picture with all of the skyscrapers in it. It looks like, at least that's what it looks like to me. Let me click on it. Let me see. Yeah. So whoever that is, if you want to introduce yourself, go for it. Let us know what your current level of experience is. Lou's back. All right. So Lou's back. Um, Angel, I still haven't heard from you. Um, so you can DM me whenever you want. If you like, you can DM me and ask any questions. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. And we were where we left off at. Let me open this back up. Uh, Let me go back to where we need to be. All right, so that's the updates since then. I went over the updates. This is being recorded too, by the way, for those of you guys that are new. So that way, whatever you missed, it'll be in the recording because I don't want to repeat all that craziness. It took a long time. And then we're trying to figure out a process that we can use to create tasks. So like that's where we left off in the project where we need to I was gonna look for a template because I kind of don't like this one really. That's like project planning, but I was looking for one that's more like task management so that way we can so we can start creating the tasks. And just like I told you, the way I need it to work, because not everybody shows up every week to these meetings, but whoever does, well, great. But if, say, for example, you can't come to one of the meetings, well, because of the inconsistency too, and because everybody's got busy lives, we need to do this on our own time. I wanted you guys to be able to select tasks, like I said before, and if more than one person selects the same task, we'll try to work with them as a team, obviously. Then that'll be like a little team, like a little unit, whether it's two people, three people, whatever, that you guys can try to coordinate together. And I'll oversee it. I'll look to see what you guys are doing, and then you can always ask for help. But that's kind of like where we need to go next, because everything else has already been like, we have our basic wireframes already. We have our flow diagram. We've already, if anybody wants to do some more brainwriting and try to help us inject more things into the app as we move along, maybe we should have like a brainstorming. But I kind of feel like we're kind of somewhat past that point already, because we already got our app flow, and we already know where we want it to, we already know how we want to direct it. So there's not much we should be adding, because we really don't need it to change past here. But like, I mean, like in addition to like maybe kind of similar to what I did here. Um, because we're kind of, I asked this question here because we're kind of um, debating whether we're going to connect to ChatGPT's API, or whether we're just going to just find our own large language model and do it a little more custom. Um, all right, so let me look at the templates really quick, because I really don't like this one oh yeah, and anybody brand new that's heard me this far, of course, he can always go back and watch the recording today, or any of the other recordings on the YouTube channel. But I wanted to ask any of you guys, if you guys wanted like if you guys want to collaborate, then you can let me know. And then for your You can send me a DM too, what your email is or what your GitHub username is when you're ready. Your GitHub username is fine on the video here because there's no way nobody can spam your your username on GitHub. But like your Gmail, like or if you have an email that you want to use to connect to Miro, so you can contribute on the Miro, you can send me that on the DM if you're comfortable. If you don't want to send it here in the chat, and then I'll get you collaborator access on Miro, so that way you guys can access Miro and start working on Miro here with us if you want. And then earlier in the video, I went over navigating Miro a little bit. You'll learn it along the way as you go. I've had to learn it too because I don't use Miro much, but we were trying to use it somewhat as some type of project management because we don't want to be spending money on project management software just to, you know what I mean? And it costs a lot of money to do that with a lot of, depending on how many people are coming in every week. All right, so um, well, all templates. Yeah, let's see. Uh, project kickoff. Maybe. Let me see. Let me look at this one really quick, just to see if it has something that would be cool to use for creating tasks. No, I think we kind of got this one already, but we didn't. It didn't have anything for the tasks. Yeah, that's right. So let me go back. All right. Extend and close it. All right. Maybe we need to do. Yeah, maybe this one will help here. Strategy and planning. Let's look at that one. Let me just type it in here. Task management. Hmm, not quite. That one looks pretty cool right here. The agile task, but let's see. I was thinking about something more similar, more simple, just something that has the tasks on there and has a spot for people to be able to just choose whatever task they want. Um, yeah, this one looks pretty good. Let me see. It's got a to do in progress done. Yeah, that one looks pretty cool. Why not? Why not do that one? That one looks good. I think this one looks better than the other one. Let me see. Yeah, it's fine. We can use pre-filled. Oh, that was an accident. So we had this one, project planning A, but I think this one actually looks better. Let me see. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. I don't like it. For some reason, I just don't like that one. I think this one's a better one. Let's see if we can make it a little bigger. Wow. Make it as big as we want. Whatever. All right, so that looks good. I was thinking, all right, so I don't know. I'm trying to look for your guys' feedback here. What do you guys think about that idea of like design team, marketing team, development team, or then anybody that wants to like do both tasks, like design and development, they can put themselves on both the design team, the development team. I'm just curious if any of you guys have any input, or if any of you guys like um, just looking for input suggestions here. Someone's typing. Sorry, I don't know your name, A. It just says A dot 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 because your name was truncated for the because I'm recording. So okay. Okay, so like I said, I recorded this event. So like later on, or I'll be posting it to the YouTube channel. And then so like if you go to the YouTube channel and you subscribe, you'll get the alert when this video is posted, or I'm gonna put it in the DM here, or not the DM, but the I'm gonna post it publicly here on the Discord server to let people know when the video is posted, and then you can check it out then too. But if you want to run it back and see what we went over, whatever we missed for like whoever A is, so that way you can get a feel for what we went over, or what's going to be going on for this project. All right, Natasha says you have an account on GitHub. All right, so if you want to like send me your username at some point, you can your GitHub username, and then I'll add you as a collaborator there. Um, the recording, you're gonna see the recording at here. Let me repost it because I know it's way up here, but you'll see it at the Dark Moon Devs YouTube channel. Let me go back. Where can I see the recording? Yes, here you go. So that's where it's gonna be at the recordings. I'm gonna repost it though, so don't worry about it. I'm gonna repost it in the online when the video goes live, because it takes a long time to upload videos on YouTube. It takes forever, but as soon as it's done, it'll alert you if you're already subscribed to the channel. But I'll go ahead and just post it online or right here on Discord, and add everybody so everybody knows the video posted, and then you can go check it out. I was waiting for A to finish typing. My name is Richie. Richie. All right, that's better than A. It's kind of like when people are like when people address other people as A, you, A. Yeah, it's kind of mean. All right, I am a final year software engineering student. All right, I'm just look to learn more about other tech stacks and seeing the process behind building large scale projects. By no means am I a pro. Well, that's cool. Like you're in your final year. Yeah. All right. So I'm at a university too, but I'm in my junior year. Well, I'm actually at the end of my junior year, but I'll be starting my senior year in this fall. Um, all right. I don't know if you're ever a pro, man, because like I've been uh doing, web and app development for a while, and then I can, I think I'm proficient. You know what I mean? I think I'm good, but I've always seen like, of course, there's people better because they have more experience. There's always going to be people better to just have more experience. But I don't even could like yeah, from somebody else's perspective, they might say, "Damn, man, you're like a pro." But like to me, I feel like I'm a little more humble in that because I don't want to feel like I know it all and never learn more because you're a lifelong learner. It's like when you're coding, you have to be a lifelong learner. That's the other thing I forgot to mention for someone like Natasha that's like brand new. In this kind of For this kind of work, you have to be a lifelong learner because everything is constantly moving, like updating. Um, technology's always updating. Your coding, your programming language is always updating. Your tech stack, whatever that is always updating. Everything's always updating. And in JavaScript development, the tech stacks are huge, especially if you're a full stack developer. They're even huger, and it's a lot to keep track of, a lot to manage, a lot to keep learning. Because as soon as they come out with changes, you got to be on top of it. You got to learn it. Uh, yeah, if you fall behind, just like Richie just said, uh, it will be hard for you to catch up. You'll have to spend hours catching up. But at the same time, if you never want to get up to date, your skills are going to be like they're not going to be valuable. Like you have to stay valuable, like stay relevant. So like depending on what your target is, like if you're targeting web and application development or AI development or any other type of development or engineering, whatever you want to call it, those words are interchangeable, developer, engineer, whatever. Um, you're gonna have a hard time staying relevant in your field because you're gonna get left behind basically, and it's gonna be hard catching up, especially if the tech stack you used to use has a lot of breaking changes that were made. They have a lot of like big changes that they made over time, and you haven't been doing your due diligence as far as keeping up with your tech stack. And that's what you have to do. You have to like stay up to date on it. So if you're using it every day, and you're building new projects, you're going from I built this project, now I'm going to build another one, and then you build another one, and you build another one. You're going to stay up to date naturally because you can't build a project without referencing the documentation for your tech stack. That's like you're going to be living in the documentation. So like the documentation is like for your programming language and for your tech stack. They call it the docs or the documentation, and you basically have to be willing to live in those things. Like basically you can't be lazy about reading and researching. You have to be constantly reading, researching, staying up to date, keeping your skills up to date and relevant. And like every time you build a project, there's going to be probably new changes. And then you'll see as you're building a new project that, oh, I didn't have to do this last time because, there's new changes that were made. Or maybe they came out with your tech stack or whatever it is. Maybe like, for example, like React is a popular front end development JavaScript framework, and maybe they came out with like a new feature, like a new concept, and that's something you have to learn if you're going to use the new version of React. You have to stay up to date, and it's the same thing from one version of React to the other. What if they made major changes and they're breaking changes, and you can no longer, what I mean? You can't no longer, things become deprecated. And they recommend no longer using previous versions. Well, that means that if you're going to be a React developer, you got to stay up to date with the current version. And it's always changing. It changes like quarterly or bi-yearly, like biannually or like yearly, depending on what it is you're keeping up with. It changes a lot. Yeah, there's going to be changes or updates constantly. It's going to feel like it's like to you, it's going to feel like when you're new, it's going to feel like, damn, every time I touch this thing, there's changes. Like every time I go to my screen to code, there's changes. When every time I go to my documentation, there's something new. But that's just like the reality of it. You have to stay. Once you get proficient with it, though, like React, once you get proficient with it, it's easy to pick those changes up. So like, don't take it the wrong way and think it's gonna be like really super hard. Once you get proficient with it, it's gonna be easy to just integrate that change into into your not just your like your skill set, like your knowledge, but into whatever projects, depending on the version of the project. Because you have to, when you build projects, the versions that you use within your tech stack have to stay consistent and they have to be compatible with each other. And so like you don't want to like if you're on like for example using React version I don't know 17 and or 18 and in a project and then the newest version is like 19 or 20, I'm not sure, I'm just giving an example. You don't want to use version 20 and version 16, for example. Like that's a no-go. You have to make sure that everything is like if you're gonna update your project, your React project as a whole, then you got to do it as a whole. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that's another point. Once you get language fluency and you have programming language fluency, um, and you're really good at the software, software concepts like software engineering concepts and the methodology of it all, like everything starts coming easier. It starts getting easier. And then you'll see like for example like the concepts in programming languages, they're all the same basically. They might have maybe differences in jargon, like how they say them, but the concepts are basically the same across the board to some degree. Like maybe there might be little minor technicalities that make one slightly different from the other, but the concepts are like you could basically if you know one programming language really well and all of its concepts, you can it's easier to learn another programming language because the concepts are going to be similar. You could pick up a lot of the different programming languages, but I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend picking specializing in something and sticking with it because that's how you're going to get better at it. If you're all over the place, you're not really a special. You're not really. It's not really a specialty for you if you're everywhere because you haven't put in the time or you don't have the time to invest in and specialize in that one thing and get really good at it. Because that's like today's market. Like today's market, these employers they want you to specialize and they want you to be really good at that one thing they want to hire you for. They don't want the jack of all trades kind of guy. Maybe some other company might someone that's like a beginning startup, but like one of these big companies that maybe one of you guys want to work at, they're gonna want that precision and that that in-depth knowledge. Like if, for example, if you're going to be a React developer as a front-end developer, a React developer, there and you have competitors you're hiring, you're uh, interviewing with, they're going to get the best person. Like if they want is one person, you're competing with all these people, and they're going to get the best person. You know, the person with the most in-depth knowledge for their skill level. So like they want that person that really took that time to really study, put in that time to really get the proficiency in that language of JavaScript and React, the React framework, and they want it. And if that proficiency is like really in depth, like it's better than the others, they're likely to go with it. I mean, everything's a balance. You got to see what other skills the person has besides just technical skills. You know, you got soft skills and you got other skills that are involved, but um, like on a more intelligent level, it should be a balance, but not everybody's that intelligent. Some people they just want somebody that codes well, but maybe they don't get along with everybody, which is stupid, in my opinion. But yeah, but that's basically what you're gonna want is that language proficiency, and that's the goal. Like if you're learning brand new. Oh yeah, so we went off topic a little bit again. All right, so back to what we are doing. We need to start. So maybe we will do it like that. We'll have a marketing, a design, and a development team, and then I'm gonna create a section on like who's gonna be overlooking those. So like I told you before, in this project, we'll probably put Irina, or we're likely gonna put Irina as the marketing and design. Well, she's gonna be in all three categories: marketing, design, and development, because she's good at all three. But she's got a degree in marketing and design. That was her first profession in graphic design, marketing, all that stuff. Um, but me, I can be on all three too, but I would probably be like on marketing and design, I would be like, if Irina's not available, then you can reach out to me. Uh, but in development, it would be me, Ryan, and probably Lou, because I know Lou's one of the ones here that I think Lou has a lot of like he doesn't have a lot of JavaScript experience, but he's got a lot of experience in a lot of other programming languages, I believe, if I remember correctly. So Lou, I think, was the one that had like 26 years of experience uh, in other programming languages. So like he'd be him and Ryan and me. You can that's if Lou doesn't mind actually, because I don't want to assume Lee doesn't mind. But that's if Lee doesn't mind along the way if you guys bug him. But me, you can bug me anytime. Ryan already said he don't mind if any of you guys bug him. You'll see him as Rigel. He's a member on the Discord channel. His name or the server. I'm sorry. His name is he goes by Rigel. He don't mind if you guys bug him a little bit. Me, I don't mind if you guys bug me anytime. It's my server. I'm the one uh, building this community for all of us. So you guys can bug me whenever. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, that's definitely like because we wanted to have people that are like more senior, like that have more knowledge, um, overlooking these areas, and then everybody else that falling everywhere else. You just pick a team. If you feel like you can learn any of these, or like you know any of these already, or like maybe you just want to focus on one, just pick one. And then we're gonna go ahead and start our task. So I was gonna make this bigger because there's no way on the development side um, all of our tasks are gonna fit on this little thing. We're gonna have to make it bigger and have more sticky notes to post. I was looking at that right now and making it a little bit bigger, but it makes like it bigger overall. Maybe I'll figure this thing out. Um, oh, okay, right. So we can just do it like that. That's nice. So let's go over here. Let me could try to get a section going here. Whoa, we took that whole thing without it. Hold on, give me a second. I want to put it back so we can get it. My goodness, please don't select that sticky note. Oh my goodness. All right, let me just go back further. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move this like way out the way. Just so that way we can expand on it a little bit so it's not close to destroying everything. Now we'll give it some more. Maybe we need more. Yeah, maybe we should do like multiple rows and columns for each one. I'm not sure how to expand these things. Let me see if we can make it. Oh yeah, we could make it. No, it's just plus. Hmm. Okay, so like I said, um, add column, add row, merge cells. That's probably it. Yeah. All right, I see it. So like that's how we're gonna have to do it to expand it. So I should probably start all over again. Whoops. All right, that's how it was originally. I think I can. Let me see if I can merge these two. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is gonna be a nightmare. Nah, we can only merge them across. All right, whatever. So if we need more space, I guess we can only go horizontally, not vertically. So um, we'll just delete that row. And well, how do we want this thing? I'm trying to figure out how to move this whole thing. So excuse me. This is the thing, like I said, like learning Miro is like a work in progress for me. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Oh, now I feel like a ding dong. Like, duh. All right, so we got it now. All right, let's do it like that. There we go. We can just expand these. That makes it easier. I don't know how big we want them, but they're gonna have to be bigger. Hold on, we need more space. Yikes. We're like, all right. So I'm just gonna give it like just a little more space, and then we'll be all right. Just enough because we're gonna need. Uh, I'm thinking this thing's gonna take up a lot of space, but we'll adjust it. All right. So what do we got here? Oh yeah, we got these here. Now it's figuring this damn thing out. How do I select this and move it? No, just that. There we go. something like that. And then we can do like maybe I should have added a column. Let me see, or added a row, and maybe we should have moved these over. Like we can move over the to do, because on the first row we should have like people that belong to that group. That's how I feel about it anyway. I'm gonna leave these as examples, so if anybody needs an example, but uh, hold on. Where do I type in this text? Let me see. Oh, we do it right there. All right, so we'll just call this one. Whoops. Why isn't it typing then? All right, let me go back to where it was. Oh my goodness, I'm terrible at Miro. All right. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness. All right, give me a second. I guess we gotta color it because it comes out white. Um, so I'll just go ahead and we'll call it team members. So we know who belongs on what team. And then we're gonna go back like that. And then we'll have this next one to do. Yeah, to do, then we'll just have to move them over. I think that's how they had it spelled, or was it? Yeah, no. Whatever, you guys understand. We'll put tasks, screw to do. And let's get rid of that. And then completed. Completed task. Maybe we'll need a more proficient way to mark off when it's completed. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. And wait. Just tell me what was it? All right, I forgot what that last field was. It was we had to do. Let me go back and look. Unless any of you guys remember. Let me preview it, and then I'll find out right now. In progress. That's what it was. That's right. In progress, and then completed. All right, we'll do that, and then completed. Let's see now if I can manage to write in this thing right here. Um, I don't know what color. We'll make it the same, maybe. No, we'll make it cyan. Is anything else cyan? No. And then maybe we should change this to cyan here, so we can have more different colors. Keep it consistent. All right. Well, there we go. All right, we're getting somewhere. But now we got to move these over. I don't know. There we go. That's good enough. We can fix them later. Wow, that was terrible. Hold on. All right. Well, not exactly perfect, but you guys got it. All right. So development team members, I don't know. I would say just I'm gonna add a sticky note. Um, so we'll put me. I don't know what the heck is the font size on these others, so we can keep it a little bit consistent. 24, is that what it is? Really? Yeah, it is. All right. Um, well, I guess this is different. Let me see. Whoops. So let me just duplicate that one, and then we'll change it just to keep the styling consistent. All right. So now we have it like that. Like I said, I could be um, a little bit, yeah, across the board, but I'm more like of so I'll put it on the one side lower, because I'm like I'll be like a default if Irina's not available. So I'll put me on the design team too, but like I'm kind of like just I'm not really like I know some design skills and some marketing skills, but I'm not really like as proficient as she is. She's a lot better. So like if any of you guys, hold on. And then now we'll duplicate those and we'll put and then Irina, we'll put her here because she is good. She does know JavaScript really well. Uh, whoa, that's marketing. Sorry about that. I was trying to duplicate this one, but it didn't do it. All right. Um, and then we'll put Irina here up top. So it should be the main one for this stuff. So you guys can see. Um, and then we can always fix the hierarchy. That's just so like you guys know. All right. Maybe we'll fix it further. We'll add a little more details that way you guys know. Maybe I should say like first, second, third, something like that. So that way you know that in these areas, who's like the primary in these areas that and things like that. Of course, not necessarily skills, but availability too, because some of us will be more available than others. But that's a start, I think. Like if any of you guys that have access already, you can add your own. I would just like copy and paste it how I did, and yeah, like how IT nerd, how you said you want to help with design. So like wherever you feel like you want to be at, you could just copy that sticky note and then paste it so you keep the styling consistent and just put your name there and we'll know it's you. Um, and then Lou already has access, so he could do the same thing. Natasha's the only one still present that doesn't have access yet. Oh yeah, and Richie. Is that you, Richie? Oh no, that's not Richie. Richie booked. All right, so now we're looking at uh, uh, they truncated your name, and I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Uh,
Yeah, I'm still here, Fernando.
okay, so yeah, you have
Okay.
access to that. You can like Andretta. That's right. It's because if you look at my screen right now, I'm sharing it. Like they truncate the names. They just got like a dot dot dot, and I forgot your name. All right, so uh, yeah, we're already at the end of the today's session. I'll post the recording. Um, that's the next thing is like figure out what team you want to be on, and and then we're gonna start creating tasks. Of course, the marketing is gonna be a while for that, but just keep that in mind. But the design and the development is going to be the most important parts right now. Um, so yeah, that's where we're leaving off. We're making progress. Sorry, you guys, if it's a little too slow for you, but this is the only day really, or this time really, that I really have time to really be working on this every week because I got a lot going on every week. So just apology ahead of time if it seems a little slow. Like I got a lot of other things to do, and I still gotta finish those other videos and post them on the YouTube channel. So you guys can just DM me whenever. And if you have any questions, and then Lou, you already have access if you want to pick a spot, a team. I'm guessing development, and then um, but whatever you feel. But yeah, just or if you have any suggestions, like I'm open to that. If you don't mind anybody bugging you, let me know, and then we'll make you one of the go-tos in that section because you do have a lot. He has more experience than probably like he's been software engineer for 26 years, so he's been around for doing it for a long time. So like if he doesn't mind, and when during the project though, like maybe just like when we're here on Sundays, if he's around, you guys can if he doesn't mind, you guys can bug him. But I wouldn't suggest bugging anybody that's a member here, unless they are okay with it, like outside of this time. Just because I don't want to like intrude on anybody's personal time or their personal life or whatever their professional life outside of anything we're doing here on the Discord community. So, but as for me or Irina, we're definitely open. You guys can bug us whenever you want. We'll go ahead and answer whatever questions you guys have or help you out as soon as we can. Though we're not always available, but as we can make ourselves available, we'll help you. All right. So that's it. That's the event for today. I hope it was good for you guys. I'll post it in the channel, and I hope you guys all have a blessed Sunday.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.